appointment.
I should have stayed at soccer. I'm so sorry. Richie, I'm going to recruit you to be my assistant.
Well, if you're talking about me eating your food for you, well, sign me up.
Let's roll. Let's play ball, big dogs. Guys, the link's working. The one they sent. It's good.
Game ball bucket.
It's good.
Let's do this, ladies.
Thank you.
One time, baby. All right, ladies.
Thank you.
I'm ready.
Yeah, I won't continue.
1, 2, 3.
You've got to be pretty loud on your balls and strikes so they know.
Look, and I am top.
You shouldn't have a problem being loud.
Cobras!
Yeah.
You know what? I can take a lineup card for their team because they don't have a lineup in there.
Close the gate! Close the gate!
For their team?
Yeah, for them.
I thought you took that paper.
I did, but then they did something with it that I don't know.
I don't know what to do. Yeah, you take this one for us.
Let me see it, Jets. Hurry up, Matt. Here we go. Shoot it.
Hello everyone and welcome to the North Athletic Complex where we have a great game for you. We've got So we've got a game 2 of the World Series for the Colonial Challenge Championship. We've got the Hacking and Attacking who are wearing white there on the third base side, and the Colonial Cobras will lead off batting. They are on the first base side. They're wearing blue. Christina Mala will lead off for the Colonial Cobras. She will play third base. She's going to step in and get ready. No umpires today, but yeah, Tyler Gallo and Delenn Poe alongside you. Delenn, glad to be here, glad to be back live for Live Sports.
I'm glad to be back too. This is actually my first broadcast, so I'm excited, man.
So Mala swings and misses at the first pitch, and it's 0-1. So Mala stepping in now. Once again, she's at third base. On the mound today for Hacking and Attacking is Jane Garver. She's got an 0-1 count. Behind the plate is Madison Scheiderle. And here's the pitch. Mala takes it, and that is going to be a strike. I believe that's 0-2.
That was a beautiful pitch that she just threw.
Nice slow down, off-speed pitch, and way to get her ahead 0-2. Garver will step off a little bit. She will slow it down, and she is going to deliver the 0-2. Swing and a miss, strike 3, and got her swinging. So there is one down. Mala strikes out. And now stepping up will be Danielle Jason, who's at shortstop.
That was a beautiful sequence of pitches. She started her right down the pipe and slowed it down a little bit, then came back with that rise ball to get her to chase.
Good morning, good afternoon, and good night for Mala to lead off the game. So here's Jason standing in now. Garver got a quick strikeout out of that first batter. And here's the pitch. Taken for a strike, and it's 0-1. So she's just pounding the strike zone right now. That was a ball, excuse me. 1-0.
Can't always be right, Gallo.
Yeah, you know, no umpires, so.
It's hard to tell. It looked pretty good, though.
Yeah, it was a good pitch.
It was a close one.
So delivers and swing and a miss. The check swing there, and it's 1-1.
It came right across the plate.
Yeah, it was a tough one for her to do anything with. It was inside, and rightfully check swing that, but still a strike, 1-1.
Right in her hands.
Yeah. So once again, the Colonial Cobras are wearing blue. They're up to the plate right now, and Hacking and Attacking is wearing white. They're on the mound, and another check swing. That's going to be a strike, and it's 1-2. So right now, this is the Colonial Challenge Championship. It's Game 2. Hacking and Attacking won Game 1 5-4, and this is Game 2 for that. And there's a beautiful belt to my right that is going to be for the champion. Garver deals, taken for a ball up high, 2-2. So 2 strike counts on both of the batters. Let's see if Garver can put her away, put Jason away here for the second out and get back-to-back strikeouts. Looks in for the sign, sets and delivers the 2-2. Swing and a foul ball back to the screen, and it's still 2-2. Staying alive here in this at-bat is Danielle Jason. Once again, she's at shortstop today. Step back in the batter's box and get ready for another 2-2 offering. And Garver sets back and delivers the 2-2, and it's grounded towards first base. That's an easy enough play taken at first there by Higgins, and Winchell, and it's 2 down. So not a back-to-back strikeout there, and, well, put 2 away quickly. No runners aboard. Now stepping in for the Colonial Cobras is Rachel Reinhardt. Reinhardt is pitching today, actually, for the Cobras. She will stand in and bat third. Garver's gotten 2 quick outs out of this one. Not too many pitches, but she will wind and deliver for the first pitch of the at-bat taken. And I believe that's a strike, so that's 0-1. Working fast here is Garver, getting the hitters to get out and get behind in the count quickly. It's a good way to start any game if you're any pitcher.
Anytime you can throw the least amount of pitches is a good task. That last pitch a little up.
Up and in. It's taken. It's 1-1 to Rachel Reinhardt. Once again, she will be towing the rubber today in the pitching circle. She will look to Garver will look for the sign, and she will deliver the 1-1. And she's check swings, but that's going to be a strike, and it's 1-2. So Reinhardt pitching and batting third today. That's an interesting combo there, but something that you won't see too often. But she will bat, and hopefully get rally started here, as that's way down and into the dirt. And it'll be 2-2. Once again, back-to-back 2-2 counts.
You always have those pitches that just that just slip right out of your hand.
Yeah, certainly not a good feeling, especially when it greets it. It's a worm burner in the ground, but 2-2 again. Garver.
Looks like it snagged off her hip.
Right. She will deal, and that's lined down the left field line, foul. Once again, another similar count to last one. There was a foul ball, and then now we're going to get right back into it. Garver will head back, step off a little bit, slow it down. Reinhardt will gauge.
I like how Garver is pitching this. She's not throwing too many balls. They're just right down the pipe, and she's looking great so far.
She deals, and it's tapped up the middle. That's going to get through for a base hit. So it is a 2-out single for Rachel Reinhardt, helping her own cause a little bit on the mound. And now stepping in for the cleanup batter, it will be Madison Riggle, who's at first base.
That's all you can do if you're not getting singles score, man. That's what I was always told.
So yeah, and that one, wasn't hit too hard, but still found the hole. Hit it where they ain't, as they always say, and that's going to be a base hit. And they've got something cooking here with 2 outs. Once again, it's Madison Riggle, who's at first base. She'll bat. So Garver got 2 quick outs, but gave up the hit. Now here's the first pitch to Riggle. Up high, that's going to be a ball. Checking at first real quick, but I don't think Reinhardt's going anywhere. just a nice day for some softball today.
It's a beautiful day.
Really is. Couldn't have asked for a better day in October. October even.
Yeah, can't believe it's October already.
Exactly. So here is the 1-0, and that's taken down low. That's going to be 2-0. And they're going to do Scheiderle's going to run out to the mound to talk to Garver. Maybe she got crossed up a little bit.
This is probably just to calm her down a little bit. She's still doing great. Just to give her a little bit, like, just relax, you're good. We only got one more out to get out of this inning.
Right, and you don't want to unwind, especially after giving up that 2-out single, especially starting off the inning really well. She's going to try to settle down here with a 2-0 count to Riggle. Here is the delivery, and it is taken for a strike, and that's going to be 2-1.
And that's exactly what she needed, just to come back with a nice pitch right on the outside corner.
Yeah, and Kinsey Ventura would be next if this inning continues. Looks in for the sign, does Garver, and now she will deliver the 2-1 pitch. And that's swung on and missed for strike 2, and another 2-2 count. So you wonder what Scheiderle said to her out there on the mound to calm her down a little bit, but something good it had to be because she got back-to-back strikes, especially on a very, very good pitch for that second one.
It could be something simple, just making her laugh. I know sometimes I knew pitchers that would just like look at those people in the stands, like just to make her distract herself from getting too tight and too tense.
Well, here is the 2-2 pitch, taken down low, and that's going to be a full count. Count runs full, and like you said, like it could have been just joking around or just say, you got this, you got 2 outs. Nothing too crazy, but it's obviously working a little bit. She got 2 quick strikes. A ball there that was close, but she will take in for the full count offering. And the payoff pitch to Riggle. It's taken inside ball. Struck her out. Excuse me.
That is a beautiful pitch.
Beautiful frame as well, and that'll do it for the top of the first. The Colonial Cobras get 1 hit from Rachel Reinhardt, and she will head out to the mound for the bottom half of the first. Nothing after middle 1. So now we're going to pick up action in the bottom of the first inning. Hacking and attacking, who leads this series 1-0, will step in, and leading off for them is going to be Faith Miller. She is at second base. She'll stand in now and hopefully try to get something started. No runs in the top half, but it was a good overall inning despite the 1 hit. So, 1 hit given up is nothing to sneeze at, especially if you get out of it unscathed.
I totally agree with that. Things can spiral so out of control when it comes to pitchers can get in their head and they just throw their pitches too sweet over the middle of the plate, or just give them too much to hit at, and things can go sour really quickly.
Right, and watching, the MLB last couple years, there's this one pitcher that stands out to me that it happens to a lot. His name is Steven Matz, and he pitched for the New York Mets. He's a guy that will be dominating for a couple of innings, and then all of a sudden, he gives up 1 hit, and then boom, that's when the wheels come off, and it'll be like 9-0. So, good first inning. Want to get out of it unscathed, especially with your team coming up, and Reinhardt to the mound after getting a hit.
This year's team is very young. They have 8 freshmen this year.
Well, and it's a good sign for going forward to get a good recruiting class. Like we said, you can never have enough freshmen on the team, especially when to continue the prosperity for the team going forward. But standing in, once again, is Faith Miller. She will lead off this one as they will get their congratulations in on the mound, and they will get ready to start.
And this team has gone through so many different changes over the past 4 years, between changing coaches to people transferring and then dealing with the coronavirus as well.
That's right, and Reinhardt will stand in now, hoping to get as quick of a first inning as her counterpart or her opposing pitch on the mound. She takes a pitch. That's going to be, I believe, a strike. That's going to be 0-1. So, good pitch there. Behind the plate now is Ariana Garraway. She did not bat in the first inning. Leading off next inning will be Kinsey Ventura, and on deck for hacking and attacking is Erica Bell.
And Reinhardt's a lefty, so this will be a different view than most batters are used to. Most pitchers are right-handed.
That's correct, as that's drilled down the left field line, but foul, and it's going to be 0-2. So quickly 0-2, much like Garver got in the first inning. Colonial's just looking to capitalize on something here, maybe get a quick single and then a bloop and a blast. That happens too often, but here is, once again, Faith Miller standing in with the 0-2 count, behind in the count. Reinhardt delivers, that's outside, and it's going to be 1-2. Just outside, maybe wanted to set her up for something to come back inside and try to get that strikeout. Reinhardt looks in. Miller hoping for a good pitch to hit here. She did get a foul ball earlier in the at-bat. Inside, way inside, almost hit her, and that's going to be 2-2.
I like that pitch, though. Going out, then going in. That messes up where the batter thinks the pitcher's going to go next, mixing different speeds, going north to south, east to west, and even south to north and west to east.
Right, and it backed her off the plate a little bit as here's the 2-2 offering. Up high, that's going to be ball 3. So after getting ahead 0-2, it is now running full. So the leadoff hitter, Faith Miller, working a good count here.
And this is what you want to do as a leadoff. You want to take as many pitches as you can get, see what pitches the pitcher has, so your team can figure.
Delivers, and that's popped up into shallow center. Ranging under it is York. She's going to make the catch for the first out. So good at bat from Miller, but didn't get anything going. And now standing in is going to be Erica Bell.
This is going to be a lefty-lefty matchup. So we'll see what Reinhardt decides to do.
Yeah, Reinhardt, she worked well in that at-bat and got the pop out to center field. York easily settled under that ball, but now an advantageous matchup for Erica Bell, lefty on lefty. The left fielder, the lefty-left fielder standing in. We'll wait on the first offering. Reinhardt deals, and that is taken for a strike, and it's 0-1. Doing a good job of setting up the zone is Ariana Garraway behind the plate. She got off to a rollicking start in that first at-bat, but then eluded the zone a little bit, did Reinhardt. Here's the 0-1. Taken, and that's going to be a ball, and it's going to be 1-1. So, no, it's nice to get a bit of a semblance of sports, even if it's an inter-squad scrimmage. It's nice to get back into the live sports action here on Colonial Sports Network, and in accordance with Colonial Sports Center, which will be on 9:30 tonight. We'll be talking all things softball for that. So, like that, there was a foul ball, so it's going to be 1 and 2.
We go now 8. We say 8.
For Erica Bell. 1-2 offering from Rachel Reinhardt, who got a hit in that opening inning, but nothing came of it. She delivers up high, and it's going to be 2-2 yet again. And Reinhardt delivers, and that ball is grounded to first base. Nice pick there by Riggle, and it's going to be the second out of the inning. So a ground out for Erica Bell, and now standing in is going to be Natalie Higgins, who one of our players to watch today. She returns for another season, her 5th year. She's a senior, 154 games played, 317 batting average, 16 home runs, 86 RBIs. She's had a good career for the Colonials, and a welcome re-addition to their offense for this season.
And I mean, luckily for that new rule that they put in, especially with not having the spring seasons, they allowed athletes to come back for another season, even if they were redshirted. That's right,
as Reinhardt sets her up outside, and it's 1-0. Very dangerous hitter at the dish, above 300 career hitter. Just a good hitter for this team, and one of the better hitters they've had in the last couple of years. So Reinhardt will try to get out of this inning 1-2-3, but Higgins is a big out to get for that. As she drills that one deep left field, that's going back, and that ball is gone.
That was a beautiful
What
swing.
did we say? Natalie Higgins, that's her. That would have been her 17th career home run if this was a league game, but Natalie Higgins, that's exactly what she got. What she got coming back to this offense, and it's 1-0 hacking and attacking, and she hacked that ball.
That looked gone right from when it left her bat, man.
Yeah, Saxon had no reason to run back for that. That one was about halfway up the hill. So that is a 1-0 lead for hacking and attacking, and standing in now is Avery Winchell, the first baseman. So like we said, it was almost a quick first inning, but as soon as I said that, Natalie Higgins just absolutely demolished one to left field. So I believe the first home run of the series, there was no home runs in the last game, and Natalie Higgins gets on the board. What an absolute bomb that was. Is standing in once again is Avery Winchell. She'll try to follow that one up with another bomb. Reinhardt, after that homer, will try to settle in. She deals the first pitch, and that's drilled into center field, and that's going to be a base hit. So back-to-back hits for Higgins and Winchell, and now Jane Garver, the pitcher, will stand in. So teeing off a little bit out here on Reinhardt as there's a runner on and 2 outs.
And I mean, she's giving them good pitches to hit in the first 2 batters she faced.
So exactly what we said earlier about Natalie Higgins, going back to that homer, just she has the power, 16 career home runs, and that's a big number, especially for this team. And she's a welcome addition as that ball gets away from the pitcher, and staying put at first base is Winchell.
She thought about it though.
She did, and
that ball went pretty far after Reinhardt missed it.
Yeah, so it's going to be a 1-0 count. That ball was not thrown back very well by the catcher. And here's the delivery. Taken inside, and it's 2-0.
And that sometimes happens when you're trying to focus on the runner. You're not looking where you're throwing. That's the result of it.
Right. And certainly, you don't want to continue to unravel. You got to get another quick out after that home run. And right here, standing in that way, is Jane Garver, the opposing pitcher. See if she can do exactly what Reinhardt did to her the last inning.
The third out in an inning is the hardest thing to get.
Right.
It feels like when you're a pitcher and when.
So once again, the score is 1-0. Hacking and attacking leads it, and it's a 3-0 count right now. So 3 consecutive balls to lead off the at-bat. Not a good start for Reinhardt. We'll see if she can settle in here. And maybe if you're the catcher, you're going to want to go out there and talk to her. That's outside, and that's ball 3, so it's actually 3-1, excuse me.
And I mean, sometimes some pitchers don't like when they have their own kind of mental, like, okay, you need to calm down. They don't like when people are coming up, you need to calm down, because that just kind of makes it worse.
Right, and the 3-1 count here, it's a hitter's count, obviously, but if you can get another strike in there, you're right back in it. Here's the pitch, and that's in the dirt, and going to second base, throw down, and not in time, so that is going to be a wild pitch, excuse me. And still standing in is Garver, but I believe that was ball 4. If not, it's 3-2. So on second base now is Avery Winchell after the ball. Good dirt ball read from her. She gets to second base, and she will lead off of it. Now it's a 3-2 count to Garver. Now it's 3 consecutive balls. Here's the pitch. Way outside, and that's going to be ball 4. So a hit, or a home run, a hit, and a walk. And like we said earlier, unraveling, one hit can get in your head, and that homer certainly looks like it's getting in Reinhardt's head.
Reinhardt's just thinking, I just want to get this last out. I want to get out of this inning. And she's starting to overthrow her pitches. I mean, they're not doing, her spin is looking pretty good, but she's just overthrowing it and tensing up, and she's not being able to control where she's spinning it, when she's releasing. She just needs to go back to the bases, release at your hip, and go from there. Exactly.
And right now, standing in is Madison Scheiderle, the catcher. She'll take it, and that's drilled down the left field line. Another foul ball.
Just foul. That hit the third base chalk line and angled to the left.
Yeah, and hacking and attacking, just hacking and attacking, exactly what they're doing. Just smacking around Reinhardt in the first inning.
Well, apparently.
Yeah, and, you know, it's a tough way to start a game, but, you know, if you can get a quick out here, it's only one run. But it's first and second and 2 outs. So here is the pitch. It's 0-1 to Scheiderle, and she'll take a ball outside, and it's 1-1. Pitch count getting up a little bit in this inning for Reinhardt. She got out the two outs first really quickly, and then the home run, the single, and the walk, and also a wild pitch in the middle of that to get Winchell to second base. The pitch, inside, check swing. That's going to be a strike, and it's going to be 1-2.
That's the pitch she needed.
Yeah, that's a good setup pitch there.
That's a good comeback pitch. And I mean, coming back from a home run is the hardest thing as a pitcher. When I used to pitch in high school, I would get home runs hit on me all the time, and it would always be, what do you come back from it? Do you come back stronger, or is it?
That's drilled down the left field line, foul. Continue.
Oh, that pitch was above her head, and she still got it.
Yeah, that's a good bat speed off that one from Scheiderle, but 1-2 still on the count. 2 foul balls in this bat, so maybe on top of the pitches from Reinhardt here, as a couple of these Colonials have been in the first inning.
And I mean, this challenge is definitely going to be good for the Colonials. All the Colonials.
That's lined right back at the pitcher. She knocks it down, and Scheiderle won't be able to beat it out. Finally, mercifully, 3 outs for Reinhardt.
That looked like it hit off the end of her bat, and almost couldn't get. Reinhardt almost didn't get it, but luckily she kept her cool and just it was a simple toss to the first baseman.
Right, and you'll take that if you're Reinhardt. So now due up for the Colonial Cobras, Kinsey Ventura, Elena York, and Allie Lowry. Colonials lead it, or excuse me, Hacking and Attacking leads it 1-0, and on the strength of the home run by Natalie Higgins, let's go back to that home run a little bit. Got a pitch to absolutely drive, drilled it about halfway up that hill over there. And and you can still see that ball out there. You can see how far it was. It didn't land, obviously. It's not where it landed, but
it's pretty close.
It's pretty close, and it just gauges you how good of a hitter Natalie Higgins is.
And when that pitch was just left too far over the plate. You don't want to be in that middle to outside. You want to be on the rivers of the plate. You never want to give them something straight down the middle because that's just too sweet to take up on, and that's the result. They're going to hit it out of the park.
So we're going to get a couple warm-up pitches in here for Jane Garver, who sat down on the bench a little bit, but did get that at-bat. She sat down a little bit, got the walk. It's been, just cold a little bit now, but we'll get back in and let's see if she can get a quick inning. Reinhardt will certainly take 1 run, though. After the way the 3 batters in a row went, she'll take the 1 run, she'll take it, and then she'll probably come back out and try to have a shutdown inning.
And I feel like when you first start off the game and it's 0-0, you're trying to make sure the opposite team doesn't get a run, and the batters are trying to get a run for the pitcher so the pitcher can then relax and be able just to throw a nice game. And I feel like definitely once that first run comes around, pitchers start to relax a lot more. And even when it gets to like 3 or 4 runs, they get even more and more relaxed and just have fun. Right,
and it's an inter-squad scrimmage, so it's obviously more fun than a normal game would be if you gave up a home run. But now standing in is Kinsey Ventura. Ventura in right field will bat to lead off this inning and face in against Jane Garver. Trying to tie this game up are the Colonial Cobras. They did get the Hacking and Attacking, got that run on the aforementioned homer by Higgins. The first pitch from Garver is taken for a strike, and that's going to be 0-1. Good setup pitch right there to start off the at-bat. Right on the outside corner, dotting it there. Gets the 0-1.
And I like how both pitchers are using the outside, the inside of the plate. And they're not just using one side of the plate because that just creates the consistency that batters will pick up on very quickly.
Yeah, and Ventura swings and misses on that one, and it's 0-2. So Ventura just trying to gauge what she can do here, gets 2 quick strikes on her, and will try to drive something here. She's got 2 pitches to work with. See if she can get a third. Taken in the dirt, that's going to be 1-2. Set up pitch, have it out of the zone. Don't want to get too zone happy here, but did get that pitch in the dirt, and it's 1-2.
I mean, this is good practice for the catcher, too. When it comes to those drop balls, you never know where they're going to bounce.
Here is the 1-2, and that's going to be Strike 3 call. That's going to be a ring up there from the catcher, Madison Scheiderle. So there's one down and another strikeout for Jane Garver to lead off an inning.
That's how you do it. You give them pitches, and they swing, they don't, but nothing in my opinion is worse than striking out when you're looking.
Right, and that's what it was there, a ring up for Ventura. Now standing in is Elena York, the center fielder, got one ball hit to her last inning, and she'll stand in now, hoping to get a run on the board for the Colonial Cobras, who are wearing blue today, and Hacking and Attacking is wearing white once again. This is an inter-squad scrimmage for the Colonial Challenge Championship. York chokes up a little bit on the bat here in her batting stance. Here's the first pitch from Garver, and she loops that one into shallow center field, and that's going to be easily caught there by Ehrman for the second out. So one pitch there in at bat for York, and now stepping in is going to be Allie Lowry, the second baseman.
It was a beautiful swing. It was just right. The speed of the center fielder just caught up to the ball so quickly.
And, you know, sometimes that ball is hit into the area where nobody can get to it, but able to cover some ground there was Ehrman.
And that's where communication between the outfield and the infield comes in.
Right, and that's grounded to third base. It's going to be an easy play, and that's going to be the third out. Or no, that bounced off the home plate. That is, yeah, that's off home plate, so it's going to be.
Almost looked like it bounced off her thigh because she looks a little bit shaken up.
Yeah, so once again, it's Allie Lowry trying to stand in. 2 quick outs for Garver.
1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3.
Lowry had that foul ball. 0-1 count now. Here is the pitch, the 0-1. Way high, and that's 1-1.
That rise ball just got too out of control, but luckily Scheiderle was able to basically bounce up like a spring and get it.
You know, it's always good to have a good defensive catcher behind home plate, especially it'll save you a couple of runs here and there. Here is the 1-1 offering. Outside, that's going to be a ball, I believe, so that's 2-1. Standing in once again, Allie Lowry, at second base. Garver looking to get 3, a 1-2-3 inning, but last time the pitcher was going for a 1-2-3 inning, there was a homer. Delivery. Outside, that's going to be 3-1. Oh, 2-2, excuse me. So that was a strike there, and you know, just trying to get a good at-bat in here, trying to stand in and maybe get a runner on for a walk. I saw that last inning with Garver drawing a walk. Lowry taking a look at it. Here's the pitch. Way low, and that's going to be 3-2. So that was down in the earth. Full count, and the payoff pitch is coming.
3-2, let's go. You got it, James. 3-1.
Working a pretty good at-bat here is Allie Lowry. The payoff pitch. Inside ball 4. She takes a walk, and, well, that's how it's happened last inning. There was a walk last inning, and now with 2 outs, and here's another one. And now stepping in is Ariana Garraway, the catcher. Garraway had one elude her grasp last inning, and that got a runner to second base, but the run did not come across to score. And now she'll stand in trying to get this run across here. First pitch from Garver. Drilled left field, just foul. Nearly an extra base hit.
I feel like the Colonial Cobras are getting their good swings, and they're just either too early or too late, or they're just getting it right off the end of their bats.
Yeah, because a couple of these have been absolutely scorched, but just foul.
3, 4, 5.
So the 0-1 now from Jane Garver. Here's the pitch. Taken for a strike, and that's going to be 0-2. Ariana Garraway in the box, the catcher for the Colonial Cobras. Wearing blue once again. The offering, the 0-2 offering. The pitch fouled right back towards us, and I ducked out of the way, but that was not coming at me. So right back off that post right in front of us, and it's going to be 0-2 once again.
I feel like that's everybody's natural reflexes to get out of the way, even though there's a fence and a building blocking our view.
It's always funny seeing the people behind home plate at MLB games when there is fans just dodging out of the way when the ball comes right back to the screen, but it's not going to hit them.
And then it's the realization, oh, there's a fence.
Yeah, right. 0-2. Swing and a miss, and that's going to do it for this inning. Another strikeout for Garver, and she works around the 2-out walk, and it's still 1-0, hacking and attacking as they come up to bat. So a good inning there from Garver. Once again, 2 Ks, and they'll come up looking to add to their lead.
We're losing it. Could be worse. Could be in Alaska. That was a good start for how many months? You would have to be born and raised to be able to handle that.
So leading off here for hacking and attacking will be Brittany Seibert. We're here in the bottom of the 2nd inning. Due up is Seibert, Ehrman, and Charlotte Grover. One nothing, hacking and attacking leads it. They will come up to bat trying to extend their lead after that home run by Natalie Higgins, and we'll keep bringing that up, but that's the difference in this game thus far. An absolute shot down the left field line. Didn't even have to move. Saxon didn't even have to move to get that ball. So now they'll get. So let's take a look at this home run. Just up at the plate, Natalie Higgins, and hammers it to left field. Just a pitch that was right down the middle. And, you know, just exactly what you asked for if you're hacking and attacking. So standing in now is Brittany Seibert, the shortstop, trying to extend this lead for hacking and attacking. So now Reinhardt will try to settle in after that rough opening inning. Here's the first pitch. Drilled down the left field line, and that's going to be an easy play for third base, Christina Mala. She'll get it over for the first out. 1 pitch, 1 out for Reinhardt, and that's exactly what the doctor ordered. So now standing in will be Julia Ehrman, excuse me. 1 out now for the Colonial Cobras. Exactly what Reinhardt wanted. And here's the first pitch. Bunted, and that's going to be a foul ball. Trying to get that drag bunt and run down the first base line and get an easy hit out of it.
And I mean, that's a good thought by this team. Any way you can try and get on base, whether it's bunting or an error by the fielders, any way just to get somebody on the base path so wreak some havoc.
Right, and it's 0-1 now to Ehrman. Fouls it back towards us, and it's 0-2. Infield is drawn in a little bit here. A step in.
Not too far though. You don't want to give the opportunity if they get a good bounce on it. It'll bounce right over the infielder's heads.
Right, and up the middle is just wide open right now. And that's in the dirt. That's going to be 1-2. Not too much of a breeze today, but enough to close a couple of doors around here. 1-2 count now to Ehrman. The 1-2 pitch from Reinhardt. Tap down towards the hacking and attacking bench, but that's going to be nothing doing. Another foul ball, and it resumes a 1-2 count.
And I like this. All the fielders have the armbands that have the pitchers, like all the numbers that the pitchers have. So that as you hear them calling 3-4-5 or 5-2-1, everybody knows what the pitch is, so they can set up how the pitch will be thrown, how it could possibly be hit.
That's tapped up the middle. Nice grab by Reinhardt and a big reach for first base Riggle, but she drops it, so that's going to be an error, I believe, on Riggle. But a nice play to knock that ball down and potentially not have an infield single. Just an error here. Reinhardt was able to get her glove out and snag that ball. But Riggle dropped it. She had to stretch a little bit for it.
I think it was a little too far Reinhardt's throw was a little too far towards the runner coming in, so there's nothing you can really do there.
Right, and Garraway will dust off home plate. Now standing in is Charlotte Grover, the third base. Grover getting her first at-bat of the day. Excuse me, Faith Miller, second at-bat of the day. She was out her first time up. Pitch, it's outside, and that's going to be ball one. Faith Miller, I believe, struck out her first time up, but worked a good count, got it to full, and struck out swinging, or struck out looking. Reinhardt deals now for the 0-1. Outside, and runner goes, throw down, and that's in time. That's going to be an out. Nice throw. Oh, excuse me, safe. That was a very close play, though, at second base.
Yeah, you definitely need a replay on that, or you definitely, with not having the umpires, it's up to the players to decide if it's out, safe. I feel like the catchers are the most confused as they're not only calling the pitches, but they are also having to dust off home plate and remembering the pitch counts.
Right, so Ehrman steals second base. She leads off now with the 1-1 count. Reinhardt trying to get through this inning, but a runner in scoring position now for Faith Miller. Inside and in the dirt, not going though is Ehrman, so it's 2-1.
I like how both the center fielder and the second baseman were converging on second base because, I mean, that runner did certainly get like halfway down the line.
So Miller with the 2-1 count now after that pitch in the dirt. Drilled down left field, but just foul. And that ball was crushed. So a lot of foul balls down the left field line we've seen today. Hooking them a little bit, pulling it, but
pulling it just a little bit too much. If they'd wait just like a half a second longer, they get that ball fair down the line. And even maybe get extra bases because if the ball gets a good bounce in the outfield, it's going to the fence.
Right, and so now it's a 2-2 count to Faith Miller. Struck out her first time up. And the pitch outside, that's going to be ball 2. So it's 2-2 now. Miller trying to do better than her first at-bat, but ran a runner in scoring position. So here is the pitch. Outside, ball 4, excuse me, so that is going to be a walk, and now Reinhardt falling into the same trouble she did last inning, but this time with one out. So now standing in is the junior Erica Bell, the left fielder. Bell got out last time as well.
Come on, 8, what do you say, 8?
I mean, now the infielder's job is easier because now you have a forced play at almost every base. If it's to the left side, the assumption would be they tap third and go to first to get a double play. Or if it's hit really hard, you could possibly get a triple play, which is a rarity, but it has happened before.
It has happened, but that won't be applying now with one out, and here's the pitch. Popped up in the infield, should be easy enough for Mala. She gets under it and makes the catch for the second out. So exactly what you want if you're Rachel Reinhardt.
And that's exactly the perfect way to play it. She has her hand out to make sure she doesn't hit the fence. I can attest to that. I did run into a few fences in my 12-year career.
Happens to the best of us.
It does happen to the best of you because you just want to get to the ball so fast, but you're running too fast. So you're running to be like, there's a fence like 5 feet away from you.
Right, and now standing in is Natalie Higgins, and her last time up, she hit a home run. Let's take a look at that easy catch there for Christina Mala. Higgins gets the first home run of this series, and we'll see if she can do it again. Here's the first pitch, outside ball 1. With 2 runners on now, so it would be even worse to let up this many runs as opposed to just a simple solo home run.
I wouldn't probably give Higgins anything she can hit, just to make sure that doesn't go from a 1-run deficit.
So Higgins stands in now with a 1-0 count. The second pitch now, and that's going to be taken for a strike, and that's going to be 1-1.
Yeah, as a pitcher, you don't want to go from a one-run difference.
So here's the home run earlier, and that ball was just scalded.
It was just smoked.
and there was no chance that ball's coming back halfway up the hill. I wasn't thinking it was that far, but boy, was I wrong on that one. Higgins with the 1-1 count. Drills that one deep to left field, down the line. That ball is gone. Another home run for Natalie Higgins.
And that was just fair, too.
That is 2 on the day, and it's a 4-0 ball game. A 3-run shot for Natalie Higgins, her second today. And that's coming back for another season, and she's putting on a show today.
Yeah, she's a super senior coming back for an extra season. Because she didn't get to have one in 2020, so now she'll be able to have one in 2020 and 2021. And she just ripped that one too. It was almost foul.
Yeah, that one just snuck under the left field foul pole. If you can take a look at it here, just over the fence. Higgins having a day, our player to watch, and boy, have we been loving watching her out here.
And
today.
it was actually above her head too.
Yeah, she's a good hitter and exactly what the Colonials need if they want to continue success this upcoming season. And now standing in is Avery Winchell, who's 1 for 1. She had a hitter last time up.
And even though this is a hard learning experience for Reinhardt, this also gives her the opportunity to not only practice her pitches, but refine them before going into the season to make sure, okay, this one didn't move as much. I need to work on this. And it's just all about practice and getting better. I mean, obviously we know the 2 returning super seniors have had their careers, and now they're coming back.
And that ball is fouled towards the bench. Third base coach will pick it up. So that's 0-1 now to Winchell.
Now Higgins will get 2 home runs. If we had the fans, I would assume the fans would go out and try to snag the balls to give them to Higgins' parents. That's what they normally do.
Just a good day altogether. 2 home runs in your first 2 at bats is nothing to sneeze at. Here's the second pitch now, and that's grounded to third, booted by Mala, and that's going to be safe. So a tough play to handle for Christina Mala, but beating it out there is Avery Winchell, and she's aboard. Not sure if that's going to be a hit or an error. Doesn't really matter as a runner on first.
I'd count it as a hit.
It was a tough play to get anyways.
Yeah, man, I like the effort by Mala. She did get down in front of it. It just scooted right by her glove and either hit off of her knee or her shoe.
So here's the pitcher, Jane Garver, who walked her last time up, standing in and hoping to add to the lead. That's going to be a strike right down the pipe, and it's going to be 0-1. It's just a tough day so far. Higgins, the only one that's teeing off really on Reinhardt, and I think next at bat you either intentionally walk her or just don't locate it as well as you would normally.
Yeah, I felt like Reinhardt gave her bait, and even that was clearly a ball that probably almost nobody could hit. But
right.
with Higgins being here for now 5 years, she knows her range of what ball she can hit and what she needs to let go.
So here's the 0-2 count now after that foul ball by Garver. There's 2 outs, trying to get out of this inning after that tough infield single there for Avery Winchell. Garver walked once again her last time up. Here's the pitch. Outside, that's going to be ball 1, and it's 1-2.
And this is when it's just a tough time to be a pitcher because you feel like you have all this pressure on you because you start the plays. You can't finish them sometimes, but you mostly start the plays, and you feel responsible for when you give up a pitch, and you give up a pitch, and it leads to a home run or then a 3-run home run.
Right, and that ball was just fouled off by Garver, staying alive. Freshman, a part of the big contingency of freshmen on this team is Garver. She's getting the start today for hacking and attacking. Hacking and attacking once again. Higgins was hacking and attacking today. Attacked 2 of the pitches from Reinhardt. Both sent him over the left field fence. Pitch up high, and that's going to be 2-2. All right, it's full count now to Garver. She had a couple of fouls in this at-bat, just trying to drive something with the runner on first. Pops that one up into shallow left, coming on and making the catch there
making
is...
it look easy.
Yes, Erica Bell, and that's going to do it for the second inning. But a home run from Natalie Higgins, her second in as many at-bats, and it's 4-0. hacking and attacking. They lead it, looking to double their lead in this series. So now due up for the Colonial Cobras. Their last inning was a tough one, but it's going to be Christina Mala, Daniel Jason, and Rachel Reinhardt due up for this team, trying to get something started. It's been a tough day for the Cobras at the dish, but, you know, got to adjust, especially after a couple of home runs we've given up. Excuse me, Ellinger, Mala, and Jason due up. Ellinger going to get her first at-bat of the game. So it's been a good day, though, for hacking and attacking. Some good pitching on the mound. Not too many hits given up. I believe Reinhardt's the only one with a hit for the Colonial Cobras today.
And that's not necessarily what you want, but you do have those days as a team where you just can't peg a pitcher. You can't nail her pitches. She either spins the ball too well or...
So here's Natalie Higgins' second home run of the day, and this one was just hooked down the left field line, close enough to remain near the pole. Just look at that one, up high, and she crushed it. Close enough to the wall to maybe rob, but just tucked it under the foul pole, and it's 4-0 now.
I felt like everyone on the field was just like, go foul, go foul, go foul, and in that moment we were just like, ow.
Almost willing it foul. So, I mean, but it did not go foul. Almost hit off the pole, but now standing in is Peyton Ellinger for her first at-bat of the day. First pitch now from Garver, who's had a good day on the mound. Taken for a strike. Nice pitch there. Good location, and that's going to be 0-1. The second pitch of the at-bat now in the dirt, and that one just eluded her a little bit. 1-1.
She just can't control of that changeup quite well. I think she's slowing down her arm maybe a little bit too much. It's hard for the changeup because you're trying to camouflage it, but also trying to flip it the right way so it doesn't loop too much and it gives the position away.
And that's going to be a strike again, so it's 1-2. Top of the third. Hacking and attacking leads at 4-0 in their quest to get their second win of the World Series in as many games and going for that elusive belt for the Colonial Challenge Championship.
It's a pretty nice belt, too.
It is. It's right next to me, and it's really nice. I like it. So 1-2 now to Ellinger. Swings and misses for strike 3, so another strikeout.
Nope, she's still up.
Oh, no, she's still in there. Excuse me. Strike 2.
It's hard to know what the count is sometimes with no umpires.
Exactly, but, you know, doing our best today here in our first broadcast of the year, shaking off the rust a little bit, but here's the pitch. Now that's going to be a strikeout anyways, so Ellinger down looking. And now stepping in is Mala, who is hoping to make up for, stepping in is Catalina Saxon, so they have their whole team batting today. Saxon getting her first at-bat, and then it will be finally Christina Mala, who will try to make up for that boot she had last inning. But here is Catalina Saxon, the left fielder. Inside ball 1. No count on today. No count on the screen today because there's no umpires, and the team is basically running the count, calling it. It's 1-0 there on an inside pitch to Catalina Saxon. So apologies for any count mess-ups we have. In future swings and misses for that one, it's going to be 1-1. That's easy enough to tell when it's a swing and miss. But when it's a pitch that's pretty close and you can't tell, there's not much you can do to help yourself out there.
And also the catcher's determining what if it's a strike or a ball. I mean, obviously, sometimes it's obvious. If it's ball in the dirt or ball above your head, that's a ball. But if it's a close enough pitch where it could be...
Well, that's lined up the middle for a base hit.
That's exactly
Ranked.
what they needed.
So the second hit of the day, and Catalina Saxon in her first at-bat, another freshman, gets a base hit.
And this is the confidence that can build a team back up. After a 4-run deficit, they just need something to give it a spark. Whether it's a senior doing it, a freshman doing it, or a sophomore or junior. they just need something to build that. Okay, we're gonna just one hit at a time. Some teams overthink and they're just like, I want to swing to the fences to make that count, make that run difference go down.
Right, and here's Christina Malo, who could make up for it with one swing of the at bat. Make up for that boot she had at third base last inning. First pitch taken down. That's going to be that's going to be strike one. That was close. Good pitch though. Garver having a good day, and you know, locating it well. That was a ball, excuse me, and 1-0. It's going to be a long day in that department, but squaring to bunt and doesn't get it around. That's going to be another ball, so it's 2-0.
Still hard to tell.
Right, and you know, when the pitches are close, it's really up to the catcher's discretion, and that's really what it's been today.
Yeah, normally it differentiates between umpires too. They give them basically the entire plate and maybe 2 or 3 balls apart.
Runner on first and one down and way inside and almost hit
the on-deck batter.
Right, almost hit Danielle Jason, who's in the on-deck circle.
I think it may actually ricocheted off the fence and hit her in the thigh.
That was close and good way to get out of the way, but Mala hitting one that was almost at her torso. So it's 2-1 now. Got a couple of fans at the top of the hill there. A couple of people just happy to watch sports, I assume. Pitch 2-1, slow pitch, but that's going to be another ball, so it's 3-1. So maybe something cooking here for the Colonials. Mala trying to get aboard with a runner on first. That is Catalina Saxon.
That's not a bad pitch call. During a change-up, just to change the pace, and even giving the pitcher a different grip to make sure she's not overthinking her grips, and just being an overall, trying to use all of your pitches, not using just one pitch, because then batters catch on to that.
Right, and Mala has a hitter's count now. Garver deals. Strike. That's a good pitch there from Garver. Thought it was a walk. Almost ran down the line. So that happens sometimes. There's a couple of MLB players that have done that. I've seen in the past. It's not an uncommon sight.
I think a lot of athletes just do that just to make sure that they can prove the point. They're like, oh, okay.
They're gonna have to run down, but it's a full count now on the payoff pitch. 1 out. Runner on first. That's Saxon. Here's the pitch, and she grounds that ball towards second. Could be 2 to second for 1, and that's all they're going to get. Slowly hit by Mala. She beats it out. Faith Miller got that over to second base. Good cover there by Seibert, but only 1 out. Now there's 2, and stepping in is Rachel Reinhardt, or Danielle Jason, excuse me. Jason.
We're going to see that play again.
Yeah, take a look. It wasn't hit fast enough to be a double play, but good to look the runner there. So Jason, a sophomore, will stand in, squaring to bunt. Takes it back, and that's grounded to short. Seibert's got it, throws it to first in time for the 3rd out. So the bunt may have been the better option there, but instead goes with the ground ball, and that's going to do it for the Colonial Cobras. Go down quietly again, and it's still 4-0 headed to the bottom of the 4th, or bottom of the 3rd. Take a look at this play again, just scalded it to short. Easy play enough at first, and that'll do it. So due up for the Colonials, or the hacking and attacking, is Madison Scheiderle, Brittany Seibert, and Julia Ehrman.
I did. You're like, here you go, Kansas City, and then you didn't say it my second goal, and I was like, oh.
I'm sorry, you'll get it. Logged in now.
Thanks.
So Reinhardt will head back to the mound for her 3rd inning of work. It's been a rough day so far, but really only because of Natalie Higgins. So it's been just a good game altogether to watch, and certainly exactly what you want. But hey, maybe there could be a rally here in this inning with a good couple of batters stepping into the plate. Scheiderle, Seibert, and Ehrman standing in. Leading off, Madison Scheiderle, the catcher. That ball goes way up towards us, and we'll get a couple of more warm pitches in. Reinhardt, I believe she's going to go the first 3. You know, and bring in another pitcher, hopefully. It's been a tough go of things for Reinhardt today, but it's an inter-squad scrimmage, so it doesn't matter too much in the grand scheme of things, but bragging rights are certainly on the table here. They'll all high-five each other and get ready for another inning of work. Shiderly, wearing 42 like Jackie Robinson, steps in here. Reinhardt will try to shake off some of the trouble she's had in the first couple of innings, but now this third one is a good chance to adjust. So you can get a 1-2-3 inning and get the Cobras back up. They could have a chance here. First pitch to Shiderly in the dirt, ball 1.
See the catcher here practicing her blocking skills. Normally what you want to do is you want to get down, make sure your body creates like a C, so if the ball does get past your glove, it travels back in front of home plate, so you'll be able to throw a runner out.
Love a good blocking catcher there, as that ball is high, and that's going to be a ball. So it's going to be a 2-0. The Cobras just trying to settle down here, maybe get some good defense this inning after the trouble at third base they had with that one ground ball. But it was hard, it was hotly hit, so it was hard to handle at third base.
And overall, I think both infielders and outfielders on both teams are doing fairly well with getting the plays they need, and not just taking for granted those easy pop-ups, because some teams can.
So it's 2-1 now, as that one was a low strike, but you know the count is anyone's guess at this point. So Reinhardt trying to get some quick outs here. Shiderly trying to get some more runs on the board. Higgins has driven in all 4 of the runs today for the Colonials. That's a check swing and a miss. That's going to be strike 2. So the count is tied up. It's 2-2. This may be Reinhardt's last inning of work. We don't know yet, but for now, she's on the mound and trying to deal with Madison Shiderly. Here's the pitch, and that's swung on a miss, strike 3, and that's going to be the first out. So that's a good start. Very good start for Reinhardt. She's gotten good starts in the past and then just struggled, especially when Natalie Higgins comes up to the plate, but Shiderly gets out, and barring a couple of hits, Higgins won't be coming up until next inning. So now Brittany Seibert, the shortstop, a junior, will stand in. Seibert is 0 for 1.
Reinhardt's only a sophomore, so she's still got some time to learn and refine her pitches and just be an overall around player.
Right, and here's the first pitch now to Seibert. Inside, hooked down the left field line, just foul. Kind of jammed her a little bit on that one, and she fouled it off, rightfully so. So Reinhardt working quickly here, gets another strike, and it's 0-1. Seibert trying to drive some in. On deck, Julia Ehrman would be next, who last time walked. That ball is taken for a strike. That was a good pitch. That ball froze her. Not much you can do with a pitch that bends into the zone for a strike.
Especially with a change of speed like that. Normally you want your change-ups to be, you want your change-up to be a 10-mile difference between your fastest pitch to your change-up.
So you got a pitcher warming up in the bullpen now for Reinhardt, but right now it's 1-1 or 0-2, and that ball's going to get away, but nobody's on, so it doesn't matter. That's going to be 1-2.
And especially with the fencing not being right up against the umpire, where would the umpire be, and the catcher, the catchers have to worry about if a ball goes behind them. The runners are basically guaranteed a base.
Right, and we've got a couple of defensive changes. We'll get to that in a moment. 1 and 2 foul down the left field line again. So another foul ball. So Ellinger's moved to first base. Peyton Ellinger. Madison Riggle's warming up in the pen. She'll likely come on the mound. Kinsey Ventura has moved to left field, and Catalina Saxon has moved to right. Bit of variability out here, having players that can go all over the place. Reinhardt still working with Seibert here. 1 and 2. Poked foul again.
I feel like Reinhardt's really settling in this inning, especially like from seeing from our first 2 innings to this inning. She seems to be a lot more control of her pitches, even though she's thrown a couple that are just kind of like throwaways. But overall, she's throwing them.
Right, and she taps that one right back to the pitcher. Reinhardt stumbles to her feet and makes the play at first, and that is going to be the second out. So nice play again off the mound from Reinhardt to range over to her right, make that play there. Take a look at this play. It was softly hit, and she stumbled coming off the pitcher's circle, made the play at first. So there's 2 down, and now standing in is Julia Ehrman.
She kept her cool right there, and that's what you want to do. You don't want to panic if you fall or you miss the ball. You just want to keep her calm and make sure the play is finished.
Right, and Ehrman, her last time up, walked. She drew a walk on Reinhardt. This could be Reinhardt's last batter if she gets out of the inning, as Wriggles up in the pen. Bunted right back to Reinhardt. That's an easy play, and that'll do it. What an inning for Reinhardt, getting out of it. No runs across.
She basically almost finished it herself.
Right, she got through it, pretty much made all 3 plays, and that is going to do it for the top half, and or bottom half of the third. We'll move to the fourth, where the Colonial Cobras are due to send up Rachel Reinhardt, Madison Riggle, and Kinsey Ventura.
And it looks like we're going to have a pitching change for the hack and sack.
The Hacking and Attacking are going to send up a new pitcher, I believe. It's going to be Dana Vitakis, who had a good season last year for the Colonials.
She was and there was a new catcher too. So.
Yeah, new catcher as well. A lot of moves, or a lot of defensive switches here. Erica Bell's going to come in and play catcher. She's going to catch Vitakis here, who has pretty much been a jack of all trades for this team. She can start, she can relieve, come in at any point of the game. She's been a good pitcher for this team.
She was the Rookie of the Year last year too.
Right.
So obviously coming into this program, very well decorated, and coming into this season, equally well decorated. She threw a lot of innings last year. I think she had the most innings pitched out of all the entire pitching staff.
Right, and we'll see who moves into left field for this inning, the top of the fourth. Colonial Cobras trying to get on the board here.
She's definitely, Vitakis is definitely going to be a different look than Garver. She throws a little bit harder, and she comes at batters a lot faster too.
Right. Now we'll see what the defensive switches are in just a little bit. Bell moved behind home plate, like we said, and Vitakis into the game. Off the mound with a pretty good start was Jane Garver. So not a bad day for her at all. She got through 3 innings without allowing a run, but Vitakis is likely going to finish the last 4. But now standing in is Rachel Reinhardt, who will try to help her own cause a little bit after struggling on the mound with pretty much only Natalie Higgins, but we'll take a look and see how Vitakis does here with her first batter. So Vitakis will look in.
Everyone gets their sign.
That's tapped down the third base line, but just foul. So Madison Scheiderle is going to move to first base. Avery Winchell's going to move to third. Grover's going to move to short. Seibert's going to move to center field, and Ehrman's going to move to left. There's a pitch from Vitakis, and that's a ball, so it's going to be 1-1. Rachel Reinhardt standing into the dish. This is her second at bat. She is 1 for 1 with a hit, so last time up she got a hit. Let's see if she can get something here cooking off of Dana Vitakis. And the pitch. Taking for a ball, and it's 2-1. Reinhardt stands in again. The pitch inside, that's going to be 3-1. So now we're going to send it over to our sideline reporter, John Hanna. John, what do you got for us? So there is another strike now, and it's a full count to Rachel Reinhardt. Sorry about that, John. There. We'll hear from him. We'll hear from him later in the game. Top of the fourth, once again, Reinhardt with a full count on Vatakis. Loops that one into shallow left field, but that's going to be a foul ball. Still 3-2. Still got the payoff pitch coming. See how Vatakis does in her first inning, but right now, working a little bit here. It's been about 6 pitches deep in this at-bat. Here's the pitch. Ground ball to short. Should be easy enough. The play to first is in time, so a nice play there by Charlotte Grover, who's at shortstop now, and that's going to be the first out. And now standing in is Madison Riggle, who made that error earlier in the game, but she's going to try to make up for it. But we'll take a look at this last play. Right to the shortstop, and she'll fire him out at first. Fire her out at first for the first out. And now standing in once again, Madison Riggle. First pitch from Vatakis. Outside for a ball, 1-0. Vatakis has got a 1-0 count. Falling behind, I believe, both batters so far in her outing. Fouls that one back, and it's 1-1. Riggle, who on the mound, she's returning for her 5th season. 73 appearances, 14-23 record, 5.10 ERA, and a 3.12 opponent's average. She's going to come in to pitch the next inning, but right now she's at the plate hoping to help her cause with nobody on and 1 out.
Only 2 out of the 4 seniors return back for another season from the graduating class of 2020.
That's going to be down low, and it's 2-1. 1-2, excuse me. Vatakis looks, sets, and deals. Up high, and it's 2-2, and we'll send it over to John Hanna, who now has something for us. John, what do you have?
Well, thank you, guys. Obviously, a bit of technical difficulties, but one thing that's been lost in this whole pandemic is the Colonials have actually changed conferences, moving from the NEC to the Horizon League. Now, what that's going to do is, before the pandemic started, the Colonials had an 8-11 record, not in the NEC, just overall, but that was good enough for 3rd. Now, if you look, the last full season was 2019, and if the Colonials had played their NEC record in the Horizon League, they would have finished 10th. They had a 5-9 conference record. Closest team would be Green Bay at a 7-17. Colonials also going 14-37. It'll be interesting to see how that transfers to the Horizon League now that there's a new teams you're playing against, new stadiums you're playing in. That'll be an interesting thing to see. Back to you guys in the studio.
Yeah, thanks for that one, John. And while you were talking, a strikeout for Madison Riggle. But, you know, Kinsey Ventura stepping in now, who was 0 for 1, the freshman. But like you said, the new division is there's going to be a learning curve, and with the new teams, who knows, maybe they can do well. But it's certainly going to be an interesting thing to see as it's 0-2 now, taken for a strike, checked it a little bit, 0-2, Kinsey Ventura.
That was a beautiful changeup. That's ideally what you want. The right amount of float, the right amount of speed, though.
Vatakis is just pounding it in there, and here's a pitch taken for a ball, and it's 1-2. But let's take a look back at the Horizon League. If you look at the leading teams last year, UIC was 20-4, had an incredible conference record. Detroit Mercy was the only team even close to them, 16-8. So Colonial's trying to fit in amongst the top players. As here's another pitch that's grounded past the pitcher's mound to short. Easy play for Grover, and it gets away from Scheiderle, and that's going to get Kinsey Ventura over to second. So the throw gets away, and a runner is in scoring position with 2 outs. And coming up now is Elena York, who is 0 for 1.
And that's just an unfortunate throw, and they could have. That's just an unfortunate play. I thought it would have been a routine play. As you can see, replaying it here. Scheiderle may have been blinded by the sun, or just may have blinked and missed it, as they like to say, as people like to say. You blink and you miss it.
Right, and here comes Elena York, who's 0 for 1. Popped out her last time up. Here's the first pitch. Does not swing ahead. That's going to be a ball, and it's 1-0.
a sophomore, you can see just the velocity that Vitegas has.
Right. Just pounding it
My
in there,
mistake,
like I
she's
said
a
before.
junior.
Here is the second pitch, and that's popped up in the infield. Easy enough play for the third base, and that is going to be an easy catch there for Avery Winchell, and that'll do it for the top half of the fourth. Hacking attacking still leads it 4-0.
We take Georgia, Kansas City.
So once again, the highlight of today's game has been 2 home runs and 2 at-bats for Natalie Higgins, and in this inning, she is due up third. Got Faith Miller, Erica Bell, and Natalie Higgins due up in this inning. And the defensive switches, there's going to be a couple, so we'll relay those to you in a little bit. Danielle Jason moves to third, Christina Mala to second, and Allie Lowry will move to short.
No pressure.
And also, Riggle will take over on the mound. Saxon will move to catcher. So now leading off this inning is Erica Bell, or excuse me, Faith Miller. She is 0 for 1 with a walk. Erica Bell's on deck, trying to continue and maybe get some more runners on for Natalie Higgins, who, I mean, is it safe to say she could probably homer for a third time?
I mean, she has the power for it, so it wouldn't surprise me.
They ought to just play a fielder behind the fence in left field, because that's where she's hit both of them today.
Halfway up the fence.
Pretty much, yeah. So Riggle will take over. Miller trying to get aboard here again. First pitch, inside for a ball.
She had to back away from that. I was going to hit her.
1-0. Yeah, that was a bit inside. A tad inside there. Like we said, if this were a league game, that would be 18 career home runs for Natalie Higgins, who has had a very, very good career for the Colonials and certainly a welcome returning player for the upcoming season, especially when they get into the new division.
A very warm welcome back to the 2 super seniors that wanted to come back for their last season and be able to play and be eligible to play.
Right, and it's 1-1 now after that strike was taken by Miller. Once again, Hacking and attacking is up 1-0 in the series, and the way this game's gone so far, they could be up 2-0 as that ball is lofted into right field. Should be easy enough play, and it is, so a nice catch there.
That was a good adjustment by the right fielder. She may have taken a wrong angle and had to backtrack a few steps, but ultimately made the play.
Yeah, and it was an easy enough catch. We'll take a look at that one again. That one got off the end of the bat. Just a nice catch out there. So, and out there in right field is Ariana Garraway, who moved out from catcher. So now here's Erica Bell, who is 0 for 2. First pitch from Riggle, and that's going to be a ball, so it's 1-0. And on deck, looming in the on-deck circle, is Natalie Higgins.
What would you do if you had to face Higgins again, Tyler?
I'd probably give her nothing to hit as that ball is tapped to third. Another booted play, but close enough at first, and that's going to be an out. So good recovery out there at third base by Danielle Jason. The ball dropped on her. She was able to make the play, and here comes Natalie Higgins.
I'd give her absolutely nothing to hit. Like, absolutely nothing to hit.
Maybe shift a couple of people over there towards the left.
Like, the outfielders, I think, are almost at the warning track, especially the left fielder. That's where she's hit her first 2 home runs.
Right, and here's the first pitch from Riggle. A new pitcher for her to face as that's taken for a ball in the dirt. 1-0.
And I think that's a good start to start her off with something slow to change up her rhythm, and especially just to give Riggle a confidence boost. Like, hey, you started off the batter.
Second pitch fouled back, and hefty cut there from Higgins, and it's 1-1.
I think I went down the hill behind us.
Yeah, a lot of balls you lost back there in the woods.
I feel like they had 2 buckets full back there.
Maybe one day someone will go down there and take a look at all of them. But for now, Natalie Higgins stands in at the plate, hoping for her 3rd home run of the day, putting on a show and just tattooing Rachel Reinhardt, who gave up 4 runs in 3 innings of work, so not too bad, but she fouls that one off, and another big cut, and it's 1-2. So Higgins is on top of Riggle here. Both of the returning seniors for this season, battling it out. Who will come out on top? These are our 2 players to watch tonight. Whoever comes out on top. I mean, Higgins has come out on top both times today with 2 home runs. And she drills that one to deep center field. That ball is back at the wall, and it is caught. So that one just to the warning track. Nearly her 3rd home run of the game, but not far enough. Settling under it there and making the catch for the 3rd out. We head to the 5th, but she gave that ball a ride.
That definitely would have been a full-blown home run. I think that would have been at the top of the fence if that pitch would have been thrown at full velocity.
That ball was nearly, I mean, it was tattooed. It just did not get out. But Higgins will have to wait a couple more innings for her next step-at, if she gets one. And now Vitakis will come back to the mound. Due up for the Colonial Cobras, who have just had nothing going on offense. Allie Lowry, Ariana Garraway, and Peyton Ellinger. 2 for 3 with 2 home runs today for Natalie Higgins. What more can you say about it?
That's all you can really ask for from a player, is to take it into their own hands, but not overthink. Think not only in the batter's box but on the field as well. You can get carried away as a player and have a false sense of security, not only in the batter's box but on the field. You have those easy pitches that come in. You have those easy plays that come in.
Right, and you know, they can hopefully get on the board here. Can the Colonial Cobras, just trying to put up a fight here for this belt?
And it looks like we have a runner going out to second base and maybe changing it up a little bit to give the Colonial Cobras a fighting chance.
Yeah, that's Elena York, who was the last out of the last inning on second base. We've seen that rule in the MLB in the extra innings. They adopted that for the shortened season. They're going to have a runner on second to lead off the inning, runner in scoring position. So here's the first pitch from Vitakis inside.
And you would think they'd start with 1 out, too, because apparently
yeah, it's just been, you know, it's a bit of a weird rule in my opinion, especially when it's extra innings and you're fighting for every hit you can get, and when you have the guy start off. I mean, a leadoff 2-run home run just doesn't sound right, and that's 2-0, I believe. Oh, it's 1-1. Once again, count as anyone's guess at this point. It's up to the discretion of the catcher. So here's the 1-1 pitch. Fouled it back, and it's 1-2.
That was a good cut.
It was a nice cut on that ball, but did not get the result she wanted on that. Elena York on second. Allie Lowry at the plate. Vitakis deals inside, and that's going to be another ball. Or that's a strikeout. Excuse me. Didn't react like it was a strikeout, but it was called a strikeout, so that's another out for Vitakis. And even with the runner on second, not able to get that runner around. Ariana Garraway up at the plate. Just 2 hits today. 1 from Rachel Reinhardt and 1 from Catalina Saxon for the Colonial Cobras. So the bats have gone cold in this one. Here's the first pitch. That's in the dirt. Ball 1.
It was a good save by the catcher. That's exactly what you need, not only from an offensive point, but a pitcher's point, because you feel like you let the ball go too early, and luckily you have a catcher to back you up.
Right, and with that runner on second looming, it's just a tough one to get a wild pitch here, or a pass ball. Inside again, and that's ball 2, 2-0. So Vitakis coming inside a little bit with both of them.
She's coming real inside. I feel like she's trying to set up for if the runner got too far off the second base, they could easily pick her off.
Right, and it's a 2-0 count. Vitakis deals again. Fouls that one off, and it's going to be 2-1. getting a cut on that one, just not making too much contact with it, getting the end of the ball. 2-1 now to Ariana Garraway. Vitakis sets and deals. Fouls that one off right back to the screen, and it's 2-2.
That came back real fast.
Did, and you know, you just hate to get behind some of those because you feel like you can drive them. The only driven balls today have been from Natalie Higgins, it seems. All three have gone either out or to the warning track. Here's the pitch. That's going to be strike 3, so another ring up out there. And 2 back-to-back strikeouts with the runner on second for Dana Vitakis.
And Vitakis is just doing a fantastic job, not only getting the strike she needs, but easily fooling the batters.
Here comes Peyton Ellinger for a second at-bat of the day. And the pitch. Inside ball 1. Vitakis won Rookie of the Year last year for a reason. Came in and pitched very well in both roles in starting and relieving. And exactly like I said earlier, just a jack of all trades for this team. Here's the pitch. That's going to be a strike, and it's 1-1. The zone's coming to be a little bit easier right now. Just sometimes the close ones on the inside and the outside are a bit tougher to call. So here's the 1-1 pitch now from Vitakis, who will take a look at it and call her pitch. Here is the third pitch of the at-bat, inside ball 2. Standing up is Erica Bell, hoping to slow that runner down at second a little bit. But the second runner at second hasn't moved since they got there. Since York has gotten to second base, hasn't been able to be knocked over. Once again, it's a 4-0 game for Hacking and Attacking. That's going to be a ball. So it's going to be a 3-1 count. Peyton Ellinger, 0 for 1 today, trying to get something started here. Maybe just a little single can get you on the board here. That's going to be a ball. So that's a full count now. Excuse me. Ellinger has a full count to work with. Take his sets and deals. Drilled to the first base side. That's going to be a base hit, and rounding third and coming home to score is Elena York. And the Cobras are on the board with that free runner, and it's 4-1.
And that's exactly what this team needed. Just a little poke through the infield, just to get them on the board. And as I said earlier, single score.
Right, and that's the first non-Natalie Higgins RBI today from Peyton Ellinger.
I don't know. I feel like if Scheidinger hadn't cut off that ball, it would have been extra close at the plate. I feel like maybe it would have been really, really close, but I think she still would have been safe either way.
So after the run scores, it's a runner on first now is Ellinger, and now Catalina Saxon will stand in, who's 1 for 1 with a hit. Inside taken for a strike, and that's going to be 0-1. All these games, these Colonial Challenge games are good tune-ups for the season coming in the spring, and it's exactly what we're looking for. Here is another pitch that's grounded, tapped right to Vitakis, who's going to take the easy play at first, and that's going to retire side. So a run does come across the score. That's an unearned run, as it's the free runner at second base on the RBI single by Peyton Ellinger, but that's going to do it for this inning, and we'll head to the bottom of the fifth with the Hacking and Attacking's leading 4-1. Due up now for Hacking and Attacking is right now Julia Ehrman. I believe Charlotte Grover is going to get a chance to bat, and then Faith Miller will come up again. Excuse me. Jane Garver, Madison Scheiderle, and Brittany Seibert are due up. So when we come back, we'll have more action here in this Colonial Challenge. Stay tuned for more. So welcome back here to this Colonial Challenge, and now a bit of a wrinkle in this game that we were mentioning before is the free runner on second base, and according to a source, the runner on second base was so the teams get asked a question by Coach Jex Varner, who in turn, if they get it right, will get the free runner on second base, and that's how they got that RBI. So a bit of an interesting wrinkle in this game.
I think it creates a great challenge, and it not only tests them mentally, but it tests them physically to not only keep the runner at bay, but also make sure that they know their facts about not only this challenge, but could be stuff about RMU.
Right. So Riggle will take over again on the mound. Got one run for her, and leading off now is Avery Winchell. Winchell is 2 for 2 with 2 hits in this game. So other than Higgins, she's the one with 2 hits on this team. There's been 4 hits for the Hacking and Attackins, and just 3 for the Kelowna Cobras. So a low hitting game, but it's 4-1. Sometimes hits don't even have to get runs in. And now Riggle will deal. First pitch, popped up, out of play, and that's going to be 0-1. And I believe our sideline guy, John Hanna, will go get that ball. So now Riggle will stand in here with a 0-1 count to Avery Winchell, who's gotten 2 hits today. The pitch grounds it towards short. That's going to hop over the glove, and if the free runner is going to head to third, that's Natalie Higgins. The throw down is not even close. And heading to second is Avery Winchell, who is 3 for 3 in the ball game.
That took a wicked hop. It looks like it bounced off a rock or something. It just skipped right over the shortstop's shoulder.
So now here's Jane Garver. Garver's 0 for 1 with a walk. And she's going to try to get these runs in here with 2 runners in scoring position, nobody out, and just blow this game open here for the Hacking and Attackins.
And it looks like both teams got the advantage. They both answered the challenge question right, so they both got the advantage.
Here's the first pitch from Riggle, inside ball 1. 1-0. Here is the second pitch now. That's going to be looped out of play again down right field line and into the woods likely. So Garver at the dish. It's a 1-1 count. Riggle's going to get the sign here. She's going to set and deal. Here is the delivery. Inside, way inside. Had to jump out of the way of that one, did Garver, and it's 2-1.
She almost jumped out of the entire batter's box.
Yeah, and that ball almost took her feet out. 2-1.
That would have left a mark.
Yeah, it would have. 2-1. Now to Jane Garver, who started this game on the mound and pitched really well. The run came off of Dana Vatakis unearned, and it's going to be 3-1 now with the pitch outside, so hoping for her second walk of the day. Riggle just trying to settle down now after there's 2 runners in scoring position. The first run will probably be unearned. The second one, no idea. Here is the pitch. That is scorched down the right field line. That's going to be a foul ball. So into the corner, and giving chase to it was Garraway, but now it's going to be a full count.
That was a good hustle by Garraway. If it wouldn't have curved that much, I think she would have got it. And then it would have been a foot race between Higgins and her throw from the outfield to see if she would have gotten a double play at home.
That's right. Higgins is on third, and on second base is Avery Winchell. Garver at the dish, and that would have been big trouble if it was down the line and fair. That's fouled back towards us, and it's going to remain full. Here is the full count offering. That's grounded towards third base. Looks the runner back, fires it to first, and Garver is out. So sort of just what the doctor ordered on that play. Gets the ground ball to third. Looks the runner back, gets the out, and there's 1 down. And now 2 outs to work with, though, if you're Madison Scheiderle. Double play is out of the possibility for now, but they could get the force at home.
anything can happen in this game, Tyler.
That's right. This game has been pretty interesting thus far, but Scheiderle stands in now. Scheiderle is 0 for 2, and he'll try to drive in some runs here. First pitch fouled back towards us, and it's 0-1.
I feel like Wriggle's coming strong so far with being this is her inning and a half of pitching. I feel like she's coming strong and she's being smart with her pitches, keeping the batters at guessing where she's gonna go, and especially because like these are her teammates, so they basically know what she throws and almost when she's gonna throw them. So she has to be extra smart and keeping her pitches not in a rhythm, mixing it up.
Right, and that's pretty much all you can ask for here. As Scheiderle pops that one up. Looking back for a play there was the catcher, but that's going to be just behind the shed where we are, and it's going to be...
Wasn't sure if it was going to hit the top of her,
one
top
and
of
two.
the shed, or...
Yeah, I believe it did hit the top of the shed. Behind the dish, once again, is Catalina Saxon, who does have a hit today, but she is 1 for 2. Only 5 hits total for the Hacken and Attackins, and they've come from the 3 and 4 batters. Natalie Higgins and Avery Winchell combined for all 5 today. Scheiderle trying to get one of those more hits to separate herself from the pack, and here is the pitch from Riggle. Taken in the dirt. That's going to be 2 and 2.
Even though we're in the 4th inning, the energy's still up between both teams, which is good to see. Normally, if there's a deficit, the team morale goes down quite a bit. But it's good to see between both teams that they're not only cheering on their own team, but they're cheering on everybody else.
Here's the pitch, and Scheiderle will hack that one foul into the screen. So still 2 and 2. Pretty much just what you're looking. I mean, it's the game's not out of reach yet. It's 4-1. It's within 3. That's still a deficit that can be. It's not an insurmountable deficit, but certainly you would want to stretch yourself here and get 2 more runs in if you're Madison Scheiderle.
I've seen teams come back from like a 21 deficit.
Yeah, it can happen. Strange things happen. That's inside, and that's going to run the count full here. So not the count you want if you're Riggle, but if she just gets a pitch in there that Scheiderle can't reach, then it's going to be a moot point.
Well, now 4-2.
Full count offering now to Madison Scheiderle.
See it driving here.
Saxon sets up behind the plate. Riggle deals. Outside ball 4, and the bases are going to be juiced. Scheiderle on first, Winchell on second, and Higgins on third. And this is a chance to capitalize if you are Brittany Seibert, who will stand in now.
2-4.
And in this situation, the infield just needs to keep it simple. Throw it to home, and then if they have a chance, they can throw it to first, or just get the force out at home. Everything should either go home or if their closest base.
Right, and here's the pitch that's jammed her, fouled it back, so Seibert maybe a little bit swing happy here with the bases loaded. You can get into that scenario in your head a little bit. Riggle's just trying to work out of a jam here with 1 out, and certainly a double play would be exactly what you want here. Seibert can move it down the line. Not sure how fast Scheiderle is, but we'll have to see how it is. That's drilled to center field. Going back at the track, at the wall, and it is caught. So that's going to get a run in at least. So a sacrifice fly there, and the runner's going to move to third. Gave it a ride there, did Seibert, but not the grand slam she was looking for, and it's going to be 5-1. Hacken and Attacken leads it.
Still was close, though.
Yeah, it went back to the fence. Nice play in center field there by Elena York.
Yeah, she had a long way to travel. She was basically as close to the infield as you could possibly feel comfortable. She just looked to go out to the warning track.
Right, and she was a step towards the wall. She still had some room behind her, but I mean, 1 run is okay. It's not the end of the world, but now
it's not a grand slam.
Right, and that would have made it much worse, and a 7-run deficit if it were a grand slam. But now standing in is Ehrman. Ehrman takes a pitch right down the middle for a strike. It's 0-1. Julia Ehrman is 0 for 1 with a walk today. And Faith Miller's on deck, who's 0 for 2 with a walk. So just the middle of the order has been the biggest part of the And as Shiderly goes down and steals second base, there will be no throw there.
Hammer.
I mean, taking advantage of a defense who was napping there. There was no one even close to covering that bag, and an easy enough play. Saxon didn't even throw.
I mean, even throwing it may have not been their best choice, because if they would have misthrown it or it would have been thrown to a different person, the third could have gone home.
Right, now here is the pitch. Taken outside for a ball, and it's going to be 2-1. Trying to get a run across here is Julia Ehrman. A sacrifice fly for Brittany Seibert made this game a 4-run lead for Hacking and Attacking, and that much closer to a 2-0 series lead. And the pitch. Taken for a strike, and that's going to be 2-2. Good paint there from Riggle.
And that's all you need to do as a pitcher. Just get your corners. Your corners are guaranteed. Your high to low can be a little iffy at times, but your corners will always get you your strikes.
So Riggle deals now with the 2-2 count. Outside, ball 3. So a full count now, back-to-back full counts, and the last time there was one. Gave it a ride to the warning track, sacrifice fly. That's all they got out of that one was 1 run. Got the runner over to third as well. And Riggle deals. Swing and a miss, strike 3, and that'll do it for this inning. So Riggle gets out relatively unscathed with the 1 run. The Colonial Cobras will come up to the plate to lead off the 6th, 5-1. After that sacrifice fly, we'll take a look at it. Seibert gave it a ride, crushed that ball, but to the deepest part of the ballpark, and an easy catch there for Elena York. Due up now for the Cobras. It's going to be Christina Mala, Danielle Jason, and Rachel Reinhardt, trying to get something cooking here. It's been a good game thus far. Scoring on both sides finally after that 1 run. Now leading off the 6th. And Dana Vitakis will stay on the mound. So it's been a nice game to watch. It's a nice afternoon, nice evening, and so we're gonna send it over to John Hanna, who has an interview for us. John, take it away.
Thanks, Tyler. I'm here with Jane Garver. Jane, thanks for joining me. You're welcome. So obviously, being a freshman, how different was the recruiting process due to having very little spring semester to play?
Well, I was actually committed here before then, so I was extremely lucky. But I know some of my friends did struggle. It was definitely extremely different, having coaches watching online and everything like that. So.
And then, what was your training like in the off season, not being able to go to gyms or anything like that?
Right. So, my parents and I actually went out. We together as many ways as we could, and I just did as much as I could at home. Went out runs a lot. Did as much outside as I could away from people. But it was definitely extremely different.
And then this whole World Series thing, obviously it's team against team, so you're going to be rooting for each other eventually. But how is it to build that camaraderie with your specific team?
It's amazing. So this is my first time playing with these girls, and it's really amazing just getting to know them so much better. Playing really just builds a camaraderie, like you said, and it's just so much fun. I'm so glad we get to do this, even though we don't get a season.
All right, well, thank you, and good luck in the spring semester.
Thank you.
Thanks for that one, John. And yeah, it was a good start today for Garver as well. She pitched 3 scoreless innings, and freshmen getting indoctrinated in the team early, especially with these inter-squad games, certainly a good thing to do, especially when you're trying to get to know everybody. But it was a very, very good game for her as well. And now stepping in is going to be Christina Mala, who is 0 for 2. Going to try to get something started here. Off Vitakis, and that's going to be in the dirt. That one gets away from the catcher Bell, but nobody's on base, so it doesn't matter.
I feel like as the sun sets today, it'll be getting exponentially harder for the...
Right, yeah, the shadows are going to come into play.
Yeah, that's the worst part of it. You're looking straight up into the sun, and you lose the ball for a good second and a half, and that's the second and a half you need to get it out, or you miss it.
Swing and a cut and a miss from Mala, and it's 1-1. But yeah, like certainly the foul poles are going to play a role in the shadows and the dugouts and stuff, but it's not as hard as, you know, say a bigger stadium, a bigger college stadium that has the lights and all that stuff that you have to worry about.
Yeah, the lights definitely, night lights definitely make it worse because they're square.
And that's going to be a bunt, and Mala might beat that one out. The throw to first is not in time. She's safe, so Mala gets a bunt single.
That was the most perfect bunt you could possibly want. It died between 3 different players, and she just mowed down the line.
So Mala is now 1 for 3, and she puts it right in between the 2 defenders and gets it to first, beats it out, gets the speed, and that's how you get the rally started.
It just takes something little. An error, a single, or even just a walk.
So now standing in is Danielle Jason, who's 0 for 2. She'll try to get that runner over. Nobody's covering second, so, I mean, that's a good advantageous spot to steal if you're Mala, and that's going to be bunted foul. So maybe back-to-back bunt hits. Who knows? Danielle Jason has squared to bunt before in this game.
I remember some tournaments when a former softball coach of mine used to bunt, and this team couldn't defend it, so they bunted every single time they went up, and they ended up winning the game because of it.
Well, hey, if that's what it takes to win the game, then you're going to abuse that. That's another square, and that's going to be 1-1. So back to that in-game interview with Jane Garver. Garver, who has walked at the plate today, a freshman, had a good start, and that's certainly going to look well going forward to the season. Jason trying to get this runner to second.
And I just feel like this challenge will definitely, it breaks off the rust from not having a season or having a little bit of a season in the spring to just come back in the fall and not have to worry about if you're in the bubble, if you're out of the bubble. You're basically playing against your own teammates.
Right, and it's nice to don that jersey for the first time, especially if you're a freshman, as that's going to be a 2-1 count now to Jason. Here's the pitch. Taken for ball, throw down to first, snap throw, and she's going to be safe. Way to keep an eye on her there at first. Mala leading a little bit more than she probably would have liked to.
She caught her napping.
Yeah, but luckily Mala got back there, and it's a 3-1 count to Danielle Jason.
That was really close.
Catchers, good defensive catchers, always keep an eye on the runner at first base, and almost picked her off.
Yeah.
The take is steals, bunted foul, and it's going to be a full count. So now the runner may be in motion here with a full count.
Mala looked like she was going to actually steal second if it was going to be a delayed steal where the catcher throws back to the pitcher and the runner takes off.
That's right, and you know, second base isn't really being covered right now. The closest person right there is Faith Miller at second. Here's the pitch. Taking ball 4, and now there's going to be 2 runners on, and the Colonial Cobras finally have something cooking. Runner in scoring position for the first time since that Elena York free runner.
And they don't have any outs either, so they have tons of opportunities to play and get runs in.
A blast from Rachel Reinhardt makes this a ball game again. So they're going to have a mound visit now with Vitakis, probably to calm her down a little bit. That's back-to-back runners she's allowed.
And even just to say, like, hey, here's what the different scenarios that they can be playing. If this comes to you, you go here. If this comes to you, you go here, and we throw here.
That's right. They've announced an attendance of 6 today, as there's 6 people at the top of that hill.
And we actually have about 67 people watching our live streams.
It's awesome.
Thanks for watching, everyone.
Yeah, thanks for tuning in. Even if this isn't the
your typical softball
right,
day.
Your typical softball game, the Horizon League regular season, but it's good enough to get back into action and shake the rust off because we haven't been at live sports since March. So here is the pitch from Vitakis.
That's crazy to think about that. It's been that long since live sports has been up for CSN.
Right, it seems like just yesterday we were calling hockey games and the NEC championship occurred, but then everything just shut down, and now we're back and ready to go. So it's a 1-0 count now to Rachel Reinhardt. Is the pitch, she scoops that one out of play.
And that actually went into the street by one of the dorms back behind us.
Right, this field is positioned right below the North Athletic Complex and right by the freshman dorms.
1-2-7.
So the dorms might come into play with the shadows. I mean, the Salem Hall over there is pretty tall, and that could lead to some shadows casting over here on the field. Vitakis dealing in now 1-1, taken for a strike, and it's 2-1, or 1-2, excuse me. I had that one in my head, and I totally just put it backwards. But here is the 1-2 count now to Reinhardt, who's got 2 runners on and a runner in scoring position. A single either loads the bases or gets a run in. And you would certainly take that if you're Reinhardt after you've surrendered 4 of the runs that are on the opposing team. Here's the pitch. In the dirt, she swung at it, though, and it's going to be fouled off. So still 1-2. The shadows start to set in a little bit more as the sun sets a bit. Vitakis sets and deals. Taking for a ball, and it's 2-2. So it's encroaching on becoming another walk, but not that close, but closer than Vitakis probably would like. Vitakis has got that violent swing in her delivery that may lead to some control problems, but that didn't really show up last season.
Yeah, I mean, that becomes an advantage, too, because the faster you swing your arm, the more velocity you have. And it just comes into it's so many factors as a pitcher. Your stride, your swing, your arm motion, how much you drive with your feet. That's all that accompanies it, and that's what you learn as when you first start being a pitcher, but then you refine it, and you also have to know your own body so you don't hurt yourself by overthrowing.
Right, and the count is now full to Reinhardt. Certainly a hitter's count now. Here's the payoff pitch. Outs. Oh, that's close. But that's going to be a walk, and it's going to load the bases with nobody out, and one swing could tie the ball game. And stepping up now is Madison Riggle.
Yeah, she could definitely, with one swing, tie this game up. And especially with the velocity of Vitakis and her power, she could send it maybe up to the guys that are watching at the North Athletic Complex above us.
Wouldn't that be a sight to see if it clears that back fence, that guardrail on the road? That would be incredible.
That'd be slightly terrifying,
It
though.
would be. That would be great to have on camera. But for now, it's another mound visit, and the runners are going to discuss a little bit. But for now, the bases are loaded with nobody out and nowhere to hide for Dana Vitakis.
And even just getting something hit to the outfield, whether it's a sac fly or a single, you're going to score maybe 1 or 2 runs from it.
Yeah, just put the ball in play. Nothing can go wrong with that. Even if it's double play, a run will still score and get you one step closer to tying this game. Madison Riggle standing in. Riggle today, she's 0 for 2. And we'll try to gauge Vitakis and what she's throwing here. Here's the first pitch. Inside, almost hit her. It's ball 1.
I got Seaton driving her now.
So Vitakis slowly losing sense of the zone here a little bit. She's walked back-to-back hitters. Taken, grounded to short. Could be 1 or 2. Flip to third. Nice glove flip, but the run's going to come in and score, so that's an RBI there for Riggle. 5-2, gets the force out at third. 5-2 the score, and that's, you'll take that. That's a run, gets you a step closer.
Yeah, that was a really beautiful glove toss. It could have easily got stuck in her glove. And as we watch it back here, it was a pretty decent shot. And that's exactly what you want to do. Just you want to keep your glove very open so the ball doesn't get stuck in your own glove.
Right, and it was a slowly hit ball, but now it's 5-2, and Kinsey Ventura could tie the game with one swing. Got the force out at third, 5-2. Grounded right in front of home plate. And believe that's going to be a foul ball. So Kinsey Ventura will come back to hit. That was close, though. Maybe it bounced off a home plate.
Yeah, I think it bounced off the very top edge of home plate. And it just I think when even the catcher touched it, she was in foul ground.
Right. So, but that would have been advantageous because I think Ventura was going to beat that one out.
Yeah, by at least a couple steps, too.
And that would have been a run potentially or base. Yeah, that would have been bases loaded again with just 1 out. Ventura takes a ball, and it's 1-1.
That was a nice changeup by Vitakis. It was a little high, but still trying to get her speed down, her velocity, and also throw in her own changeup pitches and change up pace. And since she's kind of losing control of her own pitches, too.
Right, and that pitch was in the dirt there, and it's 2-1. A phenomenal block by Erica Bell behind home plate. Just trying to keep this game a 3-run lead, but it's 2-1 count. Ventura will stare in there. Vitakis, she throws, swings and misses on a bit of a weak swing there.
It was kind of like a half swing.
Yeah, and it's 2-2.
I mean, obviously the ball was going to be a strike anyway. She just kind of just threw her bat at it and see what she could have made of it.
So Ventura just trying to get some of these runs in, taken for strike 3, looking, and Ventura goes down without a fight. And now the runner that stands in between Vatakis and only getting one run across is Elena York.
I feel like the strikeout looking is just killing. Is this the team's Achilles heel? They don't seem to be either wanting to swing at pitches or even just fouling them off. Just throw your bat at it and make it go somewhere so you can get a better pitch and you can actually drive.
Right, and here's the first pitch from Vatakis to York, and that's going to be a swinging strike from Elena York. Vatakis will walk around the circle now and settle down a little bit. She's gotten 2 outs, but there's still 2 runners on, 1 in scoring position.
The shadows are changing ever so slightly as this game progresses. It's kind of looming over the pitcher's mound and encroaching onto the first base path.
Right, and there's that one little area of sun right in front of the pitcher's mound that changes the sight on the ball, and then it gets right back into the shadows, which can be, a bit tough for the hitter to pick up. But there's 0-2, I believe, to Elena York. So the last chance now, potentially. Taps that one foul. A nice diving try there by third base. Avery Winchell, but was not able to make the catch.
She was close. I think she just it was too far forward that she thought it would be. It was a nice diving grab, but just couldn't make the pull together.
All she got was dirty laundry out of that one.
Yeah.
So here is the pitch now. The 0-2 pitch to York. She fouls that one right back at us. That one was closer than I would have liked that to be, but I know I'm fine. 0-2. Once again, York just staying alive, fighting to get one of those runs in. If she can hook one down the line, maybe get an extra base hit here, it can be a 5-4 game.
Even just something put in through the infield can score at least 2 runs.
Right, Elena York, the senior, will half swing at that ball. That's going to be a ball just outside.
And that was a good hold by York. That was definitely, those high ones, man, those are hard to lay off of. Like this movie, League of Their Own, lay off the high ones.
Right, and here is York trying to get that tough third run in. It's 5-2. Vatakis deals. York corks that one out of play again.
She's putting up a good fight, though. Vatakis has had to throw a lot of pitches in this at bat.
Yeah, it's been a tough go. It's 1-2, and you're just trying to get these runs across.
And you're just trying to get this last out so you don't stop the hemorrhaging.
Right, and right now it's just York's choking up on the bat, just trying to get that run in as she taps that one to third. Easy play for Winchell to catch it, and that'll do it. But the run does come across for the Colonials. It's 5-2, middle of 6. The RBI there from, Madison Riggle gets the ground out. But 5-2 and due up now for the hacking and attacking in the bottom half of the 6th inning. Believe it's going to be, sort of around the top of the order again. I think Miller, Bell, and Higgins are due up, and Higgins getting her 4th at-bat of the day. Not sure what's going on here.
Instead of the 7th inning stretch, it looks like it's going to be the 6th inning stretch.
Right, and since there's only 7 innings in the game, can't exactly do that.
I feel like it's a good bonding experience between both teams because they are on the same team, but they are playing against each other. It brings the bond back together because you are trying to be competitive, but you also have to remember these are also your teammates that you will be playing, even though you will have some bragging right to I beat you in the challenge kind of thing.
Right, and it's going to be pretty much the most action they have until the spring because obviously sports are pushed back and they wouldn't even play until the spring to begin with.
Their season would normally start in late February, early March when they would start their tournament seasons where they would go. Now, who knows where they're going to go within being in the New Horizon League.
Right, and they probably would just have a multi-team event amongst each other, amongst the Horizon League because that's where they'll be playing each other pretty much for the whole season. But for now, it's the bottom half. It's the middle of the 6th inning. I believe it's going to be Miller, Bell, and Higgins due up, but I've lost count of where the at-bats are, but it's all good. We'll likely see Higgins at least one more time before this game is over. Higgins 2 for 3 with 2 home runs. Remember, we had the home runs earlier in the game, Both of those balls were scalded, absolutely crushed into left field. One hooked under the foul pole and one about halfway up the hill. Demonstrating her power today was Natalie Higgins, and one of our players to watch tonight on Colonial Sports Center, which will air at 9:30. We'll have a softball-heavy show. That's pretty much all we'll be talking about today. Our two players to watch have been stars of this game pretty much. Riggle has had a couple of good innings on the mound, and Natalie Higgins at the dish. So players with hits today, Natalie Higgins is 2 for 3 with 2 home runs like I mentioned. Avery Winchell may be having a quietly good game here, 3 for 3 with 2 hits and a double. And then over to the Cobras, 1 for 3 is Christina Mala. She had that bunt single. 1 for 2 is Reinhardt. She had that hit in the first inning. And then Peyton Ellinger is 1 for 2 with a hit. And Catalina Saxon is 1 for 2 with a hit. Ellinger has one of the 2 RBIs for the Cobras. As it's been a pretty typical ball game today. 5-2 is a pretty common score in most sports, or in most of any games of this ilk. And yeah, I mean we're gonna take a look and see what's gonna go on after this.
because they may want to turn and say something to their parents.
Oh, I don't know if we're equipped for that.
Okay.
We're going to miss the first thing.
Okay.
Okay. I'll make this fairly short. So what I will say is, to be completely honest with you, when I break down the numbers I'm hearing here, I think it'll be eerily similar as far as airs and straights than last time. First game we had 3 airs. I think we just now have airs on both ends, just on our what, 4 runs coming off of one person's back. That's pretty awesome.
Well, Delenn, that'll actually do it for this game. The final score is 5-2 in favor of the Hackett Attackers. They get 2 home runs from Natalie Higgins and her return to play pretty much. It was a good game on all standpoints. We saw a lot of new wrinkles used in these rules, but how did you feel about this one?
I thought overall both teams did great. I mean, obviously with the Colonial Cobras, they weren't hitting as well as they should have. They let a lot of balls go past them for strikes and a lot of looking strikeouts, but I feel like now that they've gotten at least 2 games under their belt, they're going to come back even stronger the next game. Now that they know what they need to work on between as a team and as players, I feel like they'll come back even stronger for the next game.
Well, that's right, and this belt is, I'm pretty sure, 1 win away for the Hackett Attackers.
Yeah, if they're going off of a majority roll, or best game out of 5, which would be 3 out of 2 would be the winner.
Yeah, and right now they're certainly headed towards that way, but we'll take a look at some of the stats today. Really, only 5 hits today for the Hackett Attackers, but they were big ones. We had only 1 RBI was not from Natalie Higgins. Natalie Higgins, the star of the game today, 2 home runs and 2 at-bats, and then she went 2 for 3 in total today. And then, of course, Avery Winchell went 3 for 3 with 2 hits and a double. Her game was pretty much overshadowed by Higgins, but Winchell was on every time that she got up to the plate. And then the lone other RBI came from Brittany Seibert, who gave one a ride as far as pretty much you can hit it in this park. Ride to the warning track, but that was a sacrifice fly that got the run in. And that was all 5. And then for the Colonial Cobras, they used that rule where apparently they asked a question about the culture of the team, and they got it right, so they got that free runner. And, an RBI from Madison Riggle on a ground out. And, of course, Peyton Ellinger had that RBI single.
Yeah, I think that wrinkle roll is actually pretty cool. I wish that every game could be like that.
Right, yeah.
But not in the rules of college softball, I guess.
Yeah, but obviously you can't theoretically do that in an actual game. But for now, I mean, that's pretty much that's what these practices, these inter-squad games are about. They got everybody involved in the action, all the pitchers, all the batters, all got up to the plate. Pretty much, it was a good day of softball, and it was a really nice afternoon to boot.
Yeah, I feel like, and I like how all the players on the team that were healthy and could play were on the field playing, getting reps in, getting on the field, getting to bat. Fortunately, you always have those players that are injured. A couple of players are injured, but I feel like in the next couple of games, everybody will be healthy and be able to play again. They'll have their full team back and the full power.
Right, and it's nice to get a tune-up in before the actual season starts, which is a ways away for now, but they haven't played. They haven't played in nearly a year. They didn't get to play during the spring last season, obviously, with the shutdown happening in March.
They were just getting started with their season when the shutdown happened. It was maybe mid-March, and they were just starting their tournament season.
Right, and they didn't have any home games, but they were able to get here, and they're welcoming Madison Riggle and Natalie Higgins back for the season. They lost 2 seniors, of course, this year, but, Riggle and Higgins, obviously good players to have back. But we'll take a look at the Horizon League last season outlook. The top 4 UIC, Detroit Mercy, Youngstown State, Northern Kentucky, but UIC ran away with that division. They were 32-23 overall, but 20-4 in the conference, and that's going to be a tough team for these Colonials to face, especially all the way in Chicago.
And it'll be interesting to see how they deal with the transition between. I know in high school when it comes to switching sections every 2 years, and
Right.
even switching to a new team.
Right. So, and that's tonight we will have a softball show for Colonial Sports Center. Our players to watch tonight shined in this game. Madison Riggle had an RBI, and Natalie Higgins, of course, 2 home runs and 4 RBIs. But that is all we will have for today. For Tyler Gallo, for Delenn Poe, and everyone back in the truck, it was so nice to be back with you here for live sports, and we will see you next time we come live. Thank you for tuning in.
All on that side. That's what I thought.
Oh, he's trying to make it.
Yep. Then they get out of it. Yep, that's true. Yep. So yeah, so it's the exact same. Like we had 3 errors in the last year. Yep. Oh no, we had 5 or 6, but like 4 or 5 walks. It was pretty even on that.
That's how you rake. Now let's put some concrete.
Hey, Nat. I just have a feeling that if they're going to want to talk to anybody, they're going to talk to each other.
You guys need Natalie?
Here, give me the extension cord.
Here you go, Granny.
Where'd the lift go? Oh, I just put it in there. I didn't know where that.
Breaking the mic?
Oh my gosh, can we get behind there? Can I put first base in?
Sure.
What? It's like first base plug.
You know,
Can we go behind her? I'll start dancing. Can we go behind her?
we have masks as well.
Masks? Where?
Teddy bear? Yeah. Teddy bear mask.
Are you gonna ask me how?
The first question is going to be how did you compare to Horizon? The second one is how do you think we're going to do? The second one's going to be about the 2 seeds that we lost. Obviously, you stayed, but how we like you two.
Okay.
Talk about